Hello and welcome to Hughes at 10. I am Graham Hughes and this is the show. Yes, it is Monday the 10th of January 2022. 10 days in already. Good news. Robert Durst has died in jail. He was the murderer in the TV show The Jinx, which wasn't a fictional TV show, it was a documentary, I think on Netflix or HBO. Anyway, he admitted to his crimes, of which there were 4 people he probably killed, but he went down for one of them last September, and unfortunately he's died in jail already. So I would have liked him to suffer a little bit more, but do you know what? One down. About 500,000 to go. Absolute scumbags out there in the world, which isn't that many. Look, there's 8 billion. There's 8 billion people on the planet. Only 500,000 are really awful and rich. Speaking of that, Novax Djokovic has managed to get by on a technicality, which is what Prince Andrew's trying to do in his ongoing court case. For the young woman who he raped, because you can't actually, have legal sex with a woman who's brought across to this country who's actually under the age of 18. It's statutory rape. It just is. That's just the rules. I know they say the age of consent is 16, but it's not quite 16 because if the age gap is a certain amount, then you'll get done for statutory rape, which he should be. But he thinks he can get off on a technicality, in the same way that Djokovic got off on a technicality, because they delivered his summons that he had to leave the country 42 minutes early or something. Ha ha ha! I got you on a technicality. Well, do you know who else got off on a technicality? Freddy Krueger. And you know how it ended up for him? Yeah, all the parents got together and burnt him alive. So, let that be a warning to you. Now, I was talking to someone about Djokovic. I'm going to come on to Boris Johnson and the parties in a moment, but just to talk about Djokovic for a moment. He is doing the worst possible thing at the worst possible time. This guy's an anti-vaxxer. He's a scumbag. He knew that he had COVID because he got COVID. He had a positive test in mid-December, and the next day he went and posed for photographs with children. Knowing he had the most deadly virus that the world has seen in 100 years. That's killed over 5 million people around the world. Now he's gone to Australia, one of the countries that has one of the strictest lockdown procedures, where people couldn't see their friends, they couldn't see their neighbours, they couldn't see their families, they couldn't go to funerals, they couldn't go to weddings, they couldn't leave the state, they couldn't leave their city, they couldn't leave their suburb. Sometimes they weren't allowed to leave even their home without, or get a haircut without a vaccination certificate or a letter off the doctor. And this guy's just turned up, unvaccinated, having probably spread this Omicron variant, which is probably what he had, to unknown parties, some of whom may have died. I know Omicron isn't as deadly as Delta was, or as the original batch of COVID was, but it's still deadly. People are still dying of it. Proportionately, it's less because there's more people getting it, but there's still a lot of people dying every day. And I hope, this is my ray of sunshine from this, I hope the Australian government kick him out, to be honest with you. But if they don't, I hope he goes ahead. I hope everyone boos him at the actual event at the Australian Open that he's playing at. Is it called the Australian Open? I think so. Rod Laver Arena. He is going to. He's now going to be held up as a talisman for all of the anti-vax twats out there. But, and this is a big but, I see it this way. The fact that he has got into Australia to play this tournament for millions of dollars, and the fact that he's really rich, and the fact that he had Nigel Farage so far up his arse, he was wearing Djokovic as a hat. I think that this could be an easy win for the demagogue in me. So the way a demagogue works is they wind up people, and they always have to find some minority of society to demonize. And it flips between single mothers, gay people, trans people, refugees, immigrants in general, people who talk different languages, people from other countries, people from a neighbouring city. It doesn't matter. There's always some minority that needs to be demonised by a demagogue. I think we should start learning some lessons from this, because demagoguery obviously works. You've seen Trump use it, you've seen Farage use it, you've seen Johnson use it. Okay, cool. Here's who we're going to demonise. Who are we going to demonise? We're going to demonise the fucking rich. One rule for them, another for the rest of us. We couldn't go to Australia and visit our friends and family in Australia, could we? No, but Djokovic could. Djokovic could do it without being fucking vaccinated. Do you know why? Because he's fucking rich. You know, Boris Johnson, in May 2020, when you couldn't bury your own fucking parents and go to their funeral or see them before they fucking died, he was having a party. Inviting 100 fucking people to a party at his house, in his back garden. Because it's one rule for him and one rule for the rest of us. One rule for them. One rule for the millionaires. And Boris Johnson, he is the ultimate man-child. Probably him and Trump, actually, are similar in this respect. These are spoiled little rich twats who no one in their entire fucking miserable lives has said no to. No one's ever said no to them. And what happens when you surround yourself with yes people? You end up with Star Wars Episode 1. Or Adolf Hitler. Sorry to go straight for the Godwin's Law there, but seriously, this is what happens when you surround yourself with people who just go, yes, Boris, that was an amazing thing you did, Boris. Okay, oh, you're amazing. Which is what Boris Johnson has said all his fucking life. Hope this is the point with Djokovic being a multi-millionaire and Boris Johnson being a multi-fucking millionaire. People opening their energy bills. I'm sitting in the basement of our house here in Durham. I've got my coat on because the radiator's not on in this house because we fucking can't afford it. Thank you very much, Alexis, for the £5. We will put that towards the heating, but I've got to tell you, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, but it's hardly going to touch the sides. The energy bills have already gone insane, and apparently they're going to go up even more in April. And as I tweeted earlier today, open your energy bill. Never vote Tory again. Or if you're a farmer and you just fucking realised that the Tories that gave you your Brexit that you wanted really badly, more than you wanted your favourite sheep to fuck or whatever farmers do. Sorry to slag off all farmers, but I'm really pissed off about this. Sorry to all the farmers who didn't vote for Brexit, by the way, which is quite a lot of farmers didn't vote for this shit, but the ones who fucking did, you absolute meatheads, you fucking idiots, you morons. Like, come on, farming is such a tough job. It is such a difficult job. And they must have known, because I knew, and I'm not a farmer, that for a lot of farm work, you can't cut a profit because people want cheap food. People don't want to pay 14 grand for a fucking iPhone, so we got it made in China. People don't want to pay £1 for every single fucking strawberry that they eat. So it gets subsidised to fuck. That's what the Common Agricultural Policy was. Not just that stuff was subsidised to fuck. If your harvest failed, you got compensated. If your harvest failed and you failed to make some fucking, I don't know, nectarines or whatever you were fucking growing, the EU would make sure that some other farmer who is also making nectarines made more in another part of Europe. It was there. And I know it wasn't perfect. I'm not saying it was. But fuck me. It's better getting a subsidy than getting none at all. And that is what's going to happen to these farmers in the next few years. The government's already admitted it. So, you know, be a farmer. See that your subsidies have been absolutely annihilated. So you're never going to make a profit again. So, I don't know, give up farming. And, you know, never vote Tory again. And then look at these fucking rat weasels having a cunting party with 100 people invited. 100 fucking people. One of my mates died that summer. We had 30 people at the funeral. 30. There were hundreds of people who wanted to be there. He was an NME journalist, for Christ's sake. All these bands wanted to go and play at his fucking funeral. He was the person who gave a lot of these bands a fucking leg up in the first place, and they couldn't fucking attend. Because of COVID. Because of these regulations. And it's not just one rule for us and one rule for them. It's all the rules for us and none of the rules for them. When you see that mealy-mouthed, privately educated, ex-city banker, shit career politician, Nigel Fucktage, going on about Australian immigration, not in the way he normally goes on about it, by going, oh, we should be more like Australia. We should be more like Australia with our immigration policy. So Australia, it then does what it does with its immigration policy, which is to treat pretty much everyone who arrives in the country like a piece of shit. That happened to me on a few occasions when I visited Australia. I've been there 12 times. I know what it's like. And yet he's there going, oh, it's a disgrace the way Australia is implementing this Australian-style rule system. That's Australia. Yeah. How dare they implement their own rules and their own sovereign rules? You should listen to me, and Nigel Farage from the other side of the fucking planet, a guy who's not even fucking Australian, not an Australian voter, not an Australian government representative, not even from the southern fucking hemisphere. You should listen to him. You should listen to Nigel Farage. You should let in to our country the people from Eastern Europe that he says that should be allowed to be let in. And everyone's just laughing at him, but fucking hell, there's so many people who follow that cunt. So many people are just like, oh yeah, Nigel, tell me more. Imagine worshipping someone called Nigel. I mean, fucking Jesus Christ. That's a solid name, isn't it? Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's all right. Muhammad, that's pretty good. God. Yeah, okay. Does what it says on the box. But Nigel? Nigel? You worship a man called Nigel? Seriously? Or Boris the fucking Spider? Boris is the fucking Spider's name, or a cartoon Russian's name. You know, the villain. My name is Boris. I come from Vladivostok. I will kill you all with my death ray. You know, it's sorry, that sounded like more like fucking Transylvania there, but I don't really do accents. I can barely do a Scouse accent, and I'm from Liverpool. Seriously, fuck me sideways. How is this government still in place? I want to wake up tomorrow in a city that never sleeps. No, I want to wake up tomorrow. And I want Djokovic to have been fucking kicked out of Australia. Kicked the fucker out. You seen these little anti-vax cunts running around causing trouble in Melbourne? Yeah, outside the court. Well, the fucking, not the court, the place where he was being held. Yeah, fighting with the police in the streets, yeah? Anti-vaxxers are fucking crazy. They're fucking nuts. They're just nutters. They honestly believe the words of some now dead talk show hosts, radio talking people, conservative Christian people. They believe them over their own doctors. They believe what they want to believe. They believe in their own arrogance. They believe in themselves so much they think they know more about medicine than their doctor, than their GP, and someone with a medical degree. They start talking about fucking antibodies, and I'm just like, what? Hey, dickhead, you got a D in your fucking GCSE biology, mate. You don't know anything about antibodies. You don't know anything about platelets or blood system or the nervous system. You know fuck all. But because of the Dunning-Kruger effect, oh yeah, fucking, suddenly the fucking brains are bitten when it comes to medicine now. Yeah, because they read an article on the fucking internet. Or they listen to some fucking wanker like me on YouTube. Oh God, he's on YouTube. How the fuck does he do that? That's amazing. He must have a medical degree if he's on YouTube and clanging his fucking manhole. Are they that thick? And so when you go, oh God, there's a website. Look at this website, and you like, you do know anyone can make a fucking website. I made a website like getting people to crowdfund a statue of Winston Churchill with a massive cigar up his arse. You know, you can do anything with a website. It doesn't matter. Like, it's a fucking free for all. I saw a Facebook post. I saw a Twitter post. Fucking Facebook and Twitter, man. When it all comes down to it, I mean, when people look back, you know, after, you know, we live in caves for a couple of centuries, and after that, you know, we have this sort of rebirth, the second Renaissance, and maybe the 2300s or 2400s. And historians are like, what went wrong? What went wrong at the beginning of the 21st century? Like, what really fucked up? And they're all going to look back and they're going to be like, it's fucking social media. It was Twitter and Facebook, not giving a fuck what people put on their platforms. There's a group called the Dirty Dozen. They don't call themselves that, but they are the worst manipulators of people. They're the most vile publishers of misinformation on the internet, on Twitter and on Facebook, and they still continue to publish the same. There's just 12. There's only 12 of them. And of all of the bullshit that's on Facebook and Twitter, and that's a lot, about 85% of it comes from these 12, they're not necessarily individuals, but it's like, institutions or whatever, it's groups. 12 of them getting their narrative. And they talk about people like us, and they say, oh, you've got an agenda. And I'm like, my agenda is creating a better world for everyone. Your fucking agenda is to, destroy the planet and get as much money out of it as you fucking can. It's like when Boris Johnson says to Keir Starmer, oh, you're playing politics. So, no, we're doing politics, you daft twat. What are you talking about? You're playing politics? We should pull him up on that. Tell you what, Prime Minister's Questions is going to be interesting if he's still in post on Wednesday. So I will be doing my live voiceover for it, I'm very sure. I'm sorry I've neglected everyone. I'm going to quickly go through your lovely comments here, even the ones that have disappeared at the top, because I can see them. We've got Pineapple Boy saying whoop whoop. We've got Nick and Diff saying hi. We got Mark Walton saying party time. I hear Partygate's kicking off again. Says Nick and Diff, yes. Public is numb to it though. Evening, I'm feeling rather fucking sweary about all this, but I'll detest as far as I fucking can. Says Jeremy Goff. Well, I just swore for you. You didn't actually put those F-bombs in there. I did, because fuck it. I'm a bit too numb to be honest. Slimy Shyster will get away with it again. I'm sure Graham will voice it on behalf of your behalf shortly. I hope I did, Mark. I hope I did. Running out of outrage, but that's a bad thing. If I get my hands on Johnson, it will be his last, says Duke Vengeance. I'd love Johnson to be taken out by a person called Duke Vengeance. I think that'd be really fucking cool. Imagine that in the doc. Duke Vengeance, why did you kill Boris Johnson? What's my name? What's my fucking name? You could pull a Breaking Bad, couldn't you? Say my name. Anyway, perpetually outraged is exhausting. Well, yeah, hopefully one day it'll be over. I mean, I hoped when Trump was toppled from the White House, like when he lost his election by 7 million votes. 7 million votes. And the exact share of the Electoral College that he had called 4 years earlier, a landslide. So this was a landslide victory for Biden, even though it doesn't move his bottom chin, which is really weird. And I thought, oh, God, fucking hell. I can just turn on the telly now and I won't see fucking Donald Trump's ugly cunt face appear on the fucking screen anymore. And yet, he's still there, isn't he? He's still there. He just won't die. Like Genesis, he just keeps coming back. It's like fucking just fuck off. We're sick of your shit. It's like no. They cheated the election. Okay, right. So you're the president, are you? Yes. Yeah. I'm the president. Okay. So are you going to stand in 2020? Yeah, I'm going to stand in 2024. Oh, are you really? That's interesting because wouldn't that be a third term if you're still president? Hashtag just saying. Okay, the elite do what they want. Yes, Chubby. And that's why we need to enter demagogue mode and we need to get people to gang up on the elite because this country needs a fucking purge. I'm sick of it. We need it so that we close down all the public schools. Public school education, great. I'm very happy for the people, maybe the people watching this, who have had a private education. That's really nice and lovely. But fuck off away from our public institutions. How about that, eh? So going to public school in the UK is a bar on being on public office. End of. I'm sorry. I know that might seem like really prejudiced, but I'm fucking sick of it. And we've had to put up with 400 years of this fucking shit. And this has just gone too far. The country is dying. The country is breaking apart at the seams. We are fucking going to be bankrupt by the end of this fucking year because of the big squeeze that's coming in with inflation going through the fucking roof. With obviously interest rates are going to have to go up. People are going to have to fucking foreclose on their fucking houses. It's going to be an absolute clusterfuck. Food prices are going to go up. Clothing prices are going to go up. Cheap shoes for peasants. Rees-Mogg, yeah, bullshit. It's going to be more fucking expensive. It's going to be fucking this. It's going to be a disaster. And who are the architects of this fucking disaster? Nearly all of them. And don't give me the exceptions, right? Fuck off at you. Oh, well, this one person didn't go to private school game, and that negates your entire theory. Ooh! You know, it's like one good Nazi fucking sketch, isn't it? Oh, well, this Nazi never killed anyone, so they can't be all bad. Oh, for fuck's sake. Enough of them. Enough of them. Everyone involved in fucking leave in this country, right? That's Farage, Wigmore, Banks, Hannon, that fucking Matthew Elliott, cunt, fucking whatever his name is, Boris Johnson, Michael Gove, Dominic Cummings, all went to private school. So they can fuck off. That's it. You went to private school, fuck off. You know, you've got the money. You don't need to work. Stop stealing our jobs. Stop stealing our TV presenting jobs, eh? Stop stealing our acting jobs. Stop taking our place in the British Olympic team. Hey, how about that? How about you step a fucking side and just spend your money on having parties? That's all you're fucking good at. All of yous be fucking socialites, which is, you know, upper class unemployed people like that Ghislaine fucking Maxwell paedophile creep. Just go and fuck off. That's it. I'm fed up with yous. And I think we would make a much, much better country overnight if we made that a rule and got rid of all the private schools. Because private schools are a fucking scam. And I'm not even like in the mood for having a debate about this anymore because of the £1 billion that those cunt farms steal off the taxpayer every year because they are private fucking enterprises that pay no tax. They are profit-making organisations that pay no tax. And the way they get around not paying any tax is they give £1 billion a year away to the needy because they're charities, right? The charities. But their definition of needy is fucked. Their definition of needy is millionaires' children who need musical instruments and fucking sporting equipment. In fact, of the 1 billion they dodge in tax every year, saying, oh, it's charity, we give it to charity, only 1%, only 10 million of that, all the private schools in the country, goes towards people like you and me who couldn't afford a single penny towards the education of our child in that school. 1% for full bursaries. Only 3% of the money goes to a 75% bursary for people just about managing and can probably give a little bit of money towards the tuition fees, a few £1,000s a year. Over 50% of that money goes to pay for sporting equipment and musical instruments and away days for the children of multi-millionaires. And I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm really not sorry. We need to get rid of these cunt farms. That's it. I'm sick of them. Go on Eating Disorder, spelled like the school, E-T-O-N, disorder.uk, and check out that fucking list. And I guarantee every time you go on Twitter, this is the automatic rage machine that is Twitter, go on Twitter, whenever you see some cunt's name come up on the side, you know, trending, 99 times out of 100, they'll be on the Eating Disorder list. A list of people in the public eye who went to private school. If you're not, if you've got anywhere in life, right, in this fucking country, and you didn't go to private school, you're either a footballer, a reality TV star, a singer, maybe, or you're incredibly talented or incredibly lucky. And even then, people will give you shit. Even then, people will go, "Ooh, what are they doing in that position, eh? With that regional accent, with that skin colour, ooh, with that religion, what are they doing in there? Ooh, I'm good. This is just woke agenda." People talking. That Jonathan Pye cunt. You know, the guy who plays Jonathan Pye. I can't find any information on his background, so he probably went to fucking private school. But one of his latest videos, I stopped watching him after the Brexit vote because he's obviously, you know, he's a bit of a Tory by the sound of things, what some of the stuff he comes out with. And I think he's trying to play that character, but it's not like Rosie Holt, who obviously is playing a character that she doesn't believe in herself because it's so ridiculous. But he's talking about the woke agenda. Jonathan Pye's talking about the woke agenda. He's talking about this incredibly powerful woke lobby. Where the fuck is this? Where? I haven't seen it. What's that, Labour? They're not in power, dickhead. The Tories? What, is it the civil service? Is it the fucking Metropolitan Police? the hive of fucking rapists, murderers, people who can't investigate a fucking party that they were at. That's the mad thing about the Metropolitan Police. They need to investigate anything. They were there. They were fucking there at all these fucking parties because it's the Metropolitan fucking Police's job to police number 10. They have to check everyone in and everyone out. They know exactly what's going on in number 10. Nothing to investigate. We've seen no evidence. Crest of the dick, privately educated. She can go fuck herself. Justin Welby, sticking up for the Tories. Oh, yeah, they're not that bad. Yeah, he's one of their mates from Eton, isn't he? Fucking cunts. Anyway, moving on. Let's play Fight Club. I'll start with the obvious one if it helps. Michael McIntyre. Yes. God, fucking hell. Michael McIntyre. God, he's funny, isn't he? It's funny like finding a fucking lump. Ha! Ha! Yeah. Ha! Novax should stop being a petulant baby and grow up, says Duke Vengeance. Indeed. Novax Djokovic. Indeed. Andrew Murray's tweet was class about Farage. Yeah, and then he tweeted just an emoji of a fish on a fishing rod. That was great. There's a mental health virus that affects people thinking. It's called ignorance. Number 3, I don't think it's just ignorance. It's arrogance. It's people who don't. It's a symptom of our communities breaking down, of our society breaking down, which is exactly what Thatcher wanted. It's exactly what these fucking lovers of atomization, of disaster capitalism want. They don't want collectivization. They don't want people to work together. They don't want socialism. What they want is for everyone to be selfish cunts like they are and fuck each other over in a dog-eat-dog world in which they happen to have been born at the very top of the pecking order. And they know they're never going to come back down. Because all our system does is make rich people who were born rich, richer. And keeps everyone else at the same level. But feeds them little tidbits. Oh, you might win the lottery. You might win the lottery. Go on. Put some money on the lottery. Like this fucking tax people have to pay every week to maybe make it in life. Because you're not actually going to pay us any fucking wages that will allow us to live our dreams. No. We're not going to give you even a living fucking wage. In fact, the government's going to prop up your wages because the private company that you work for can't be asked paying you that much. So John Q, taxpayer over here, we'll pay their extra wages that you don't feel like paying. Absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. But this atomization and this disassociation from groups, you could blame it on the decline of the church as well. I mean, the church has declined. It's dug its own grave. The church can go fuck itself. The church has abused its position in more ways than one for centuries. It can go fuck itself, and people are waking up and going, yeah, this whole sort of idea that the most difficult questions to answer, in the universe were answered correctly in the Bronze Age by illiterate herdsmen in the Middle East. Yeah. Okay. I'm not a big fan of the whole if brown people made something, it must have been aliens. Machu Picchu or the pyramids or Chichen Itza or Angkor Wat or whatever. Oh my God, this is an incredible temple complex. This couldn't have possibly been built by humans. It must have been built by aliens. The colossal statues in Rapa Nui in Easter Island. Yeah, it must have been aliens who made them. No human could carve a face onto a piece of stone. Anyway, however, so I'm not being like, oh my God, how could anything like that started in the Bronze Age? But around the same time that these myths were all fucking kicking off, like, where did the universe come from? Oh, it was made by an invisible space wizard who lives in space. The Britons, the early Britons, we were still building fucking Stonehenge. And I mean, 10 out of 10 for effort, but not out of 10 for fucking design skills. I mean, it looks like a pile of shit. It's like some fucking dominoes that someone's stuck on top of each other. Oh, compare with the pyramids and the temples of Luxor. Oh, fuck off. Well done, Britain, dickheads. But, if all of our myths that we believed were based around, the myths of the ancient Britons in the Bronze Age when we were fucking building Stonehenge, I'd be like, nah, I don't think we got the answers right then. But that's beside the point. These religions have dug their own graves. But as a result of that, we don't meet up every week in church and have a little bit of a chat afterwards with some biscuits and some tea. We don't have local pubs anymore. You drive around Liverpool or any major city these days, and most of the suburban pubs, if you want to call them that, closed down. Everyone goes to the city centre. Everyone goes out in the city centre. Goes on a pub crawl, where you go to different places, and it means you don't see the same people in the pub every week. You don't have your local Pubs have closed down in the last 10 years to 20 years. They've closed down at an insane rate. Dozens every month. And that means that you're not meeting up with people in real life who can say, "Oi, dickhead, wind your neck in." People aren't having an experience of a real debate, have a real conversation, of how a real conversation goes. All we're getting is this whole sort of, rage tweeting on the internet and Facebook posts, "You bloody dickhead," and blocking people and all this kind of stuff. And so if you start following some random dickhead on TikTok, the next 10 videos that are going to come up on your recommended for you thing are going to be random dickheads telling you lies. Because that's the algorithm. If you start following science stuff, it's going to be people talking about science and black holes and, interesting shit. But I mean, that's the way it goes. So you end up getting further and further away from each other. And you end up not hearing anything that the other side hears at all. If you have a Trump voter in America, there's a good chance that you have no idea that there's all this evidence that Trump actually fucking lost the election. Because you're not exposed to it. So social media, but also Fox News, Rupert Murdoch, fucking hell. When his name comes up on Twitter, in the trending, Rupert Murdoch, I think, great, he's dead. And then when he's not dead, I'm just like hit by this sort of same disappointment that I guess you must feel if, I don't know, you found out your child was beating up an old lady or something. Like, oh my God. I feel such a pang of disappointment. But yes, Murdoch, what a fucking menace. The guy doesn't believe in climate change, so he doesn't want his readers to believe in climate change, and they don't, because he tells them not to. Don't listen to the scientists, don't listen to the experts. But yeah, let's talk about mental health. Mental fucking health. People talking about lockdown causing problems with mental health. Lockdown did not cause me any problems with mental health. The Tories have. Brexit has. Dickheads on the internet have. Seriously hurt my mental health. Can we stop them? Can we stop those things from happening? I didn't mind locking down because I thought, well, I don't want this virus to spread. I'll probably be all right. It's the same attitude that I had when I travelled the world and got all my fucking vaccines. I thought, well, I'll probably be all right for a lot of them. Maybe not for dengue fever. No, actually, yellow fever. That's a pretty bad one. Yeah, Japanese encephalitis. I don't fancy that either. And diphtheria, typhoid, rabies. Yeah, I didn't want rabies. I'm lying there. Yeah, hepatitis A and B. Okay, yeah. All right. So there was an element of selfishness in it of like, I didn't want these fucking diseases. But at the same time, I was very aware that if I got the disease, I'd be more likely to spread it to someone else. And the same thing happens with COVID. If you have a vaccine, you don't have as much of a viral load when you get the fucking thing. So you're less likely to spread it at the same rate as someone who is unvaccinated. It's as simple as that. Just imagine that you got 100 little fucking germ cells inside you instead of 100 million. I mean, the ratios aren't that, but you know what I mean. So yeah, when I went around Africa and went around South America, I took my malaria tablets every day because the malaria parasite, it's not a virus, it's a parasite. It's spread by the female mosquito, a particular species of mosquito. And it's the one that doesn't make any fucking noise, by the way. The male buzzes around. So when you hear a mosquito in the room, that's not the one that's going to give you malaria. The one that doesn't make a noise is the one that's going to give you fucking malaria. It's the female. Anyway, if you are in a room with 5 people and one of them has malaria and a mosquito comes in the night and bites that one person and then the next couple of hours bites the other 4 people, the other 4 people get malaria. If a mosquito that doesn't have malaria comes into your house and bites everyone in the room and no one's got malaria, it doesn't get spread. It simply doesn't get spread because it's not airborne like COVID is. So take your fucking anti-malarials. Oh, they give you nightmares. Well, there's different types that you can take, and there's the Larium gives you night. Is it Larium? No, it's not Larium. Something like that. Gives you fucking nightmares. All right. Well, don't fucking take that one. Try one that works for you. I took doxycycline. It was fine. Although I did learn quite early on that you need to take it sitting down or standing up. Because I didn't listen to that. Because sometimes I get to the end of the day and go, oh, I forgot to take my fucking pill. I would take it. And I'll be already be in bed. I'll be like lying down. And then I remember when I was in Mexico, I think I'd been taking the doxycycline for probably 2 months by then. And my throat, my esophagus, like I think it swelled up or something because of this drug that I was taking, and it made it really, really, really hard to swallow. Yeah, the sailors didn't like that. Anyway, moving swiftly on. I'm going to read some more of your comments. Sorry, I'm going off on a big fucking monologue here about, I don't know, society and black holes and fucking parties and number fucking 10. But yeah, all I can say right now, before I dive into your messages and take it from there, is I'm not surprised that this has come out about Boris Johnson's party, in which he invited 100 people to come and party in his backyard during a lockdown in which you weren't allowed to meet one other person without them being 2 meters away from you. Outside. That was the situation on the 20th of May, 2020. A demagogue who demonizes billionaires wouldn't be supported by the tabloids. Yes, Pineapple Boy, but I don't need the tabloids. Where we're going, we don't need tabloids because no one under the age of 40 reads a fucking tabloid. What we need is some left-wing demagogues on TikTok and Twitter and maybe not Facebook. That's kind of like an older person thing now. But yeah, certainly YouTube, Twitch. Basically saying to people, let's eat the rich. Let's eat the fucking rich. Let's eat the fucking rich until the rich start shitting themselves. You don't have to actually eat them. Just the threat of the fact that 93% of us didn't go to private school. We could probably eat the 7% that did pretty easily. I don't think they're going to put up much of a fight because have you seen them? Hello, my lovely Ginger. How are you, Graham? I'm all right, mate. I love you, my hero. I wouldn't go that far. I'm not. I don't want to be a hero. I'm just a scobby scouser who likes to sound off about the topics of the day. Get it off my chest. You know, this is for me. This is like therapy. It's just like lying down on a fucking couch and just being able to go, for fuck's sake, what the fuck is going on? Spit all over my mic, obviously. You can be a banker or a Morris dancer. The future of Britain. I thought it was going to be a song then. You can be a banker. You can be a king or a lowly sweeper. A street sweeper. I can't even say that. Okay. It was George Eustace encouraged the farmers to vote leave. And what a twat. Can't we go after the sponsor of the tennis nut job? I think that'll probably happen. Aussies aren't going to take this line down because they have had some of the most brutal lockdown rules in the world, quite rightly, and only 2,000 people odd have fucking died. It's about that. I'll have to look that up. But it's certainly less than 10,000, and we've had 150,000 officially dead now within 28 days of a positive test for COVID. There are over 170,000 people who have died with COVID on their death certificate. Yeah, we're number 1. First country in Europe to pass the 150,000 mark. We're number 1. Did you see Kate Burley roasting Michael Gove on Partygate earlier? Yes, I did. And Michael Gove saying he went to very few parties. That's not none, is it? I killed very few people. I mean, hardly any if you think about it. Because, 2 is only 2 more than 0. Kate Burley, who I think had to step down from her role in Sky News for several months after breaking lockdown rules in a party that dinner party was it or something? She had dinner with like 8 people and they were like, oh, you've broken the rules, and she had to not work for 6 months. Yeah, I bet she's loving this. Nick in Diff says, I'm half expecting people to go to Downing Street and start throwing bottles of wine over the gates. That would be beautiful. Oh, I've just had a load of new messages just come up on my screen. Sorry, I didn't realise there are super chats here. My screen hadn't refreshed. I'm very sorry. Pineapple Boy, thank you very much. Private schools is a problem, but it's not the problem. It's your own lived experience talking, perhaps, says Pineapple Boy. Thank you for the super chat, Pineapple Boy, but check out eatingdisorder.uk and check out all the fucking names on it, and they are all the cunts who are making our lives a fucking misery. I mean, honestly, there are some nice people on there. There are some of my heroes on there. I've got to say, there's some people I really respect and really love on that list. I'm not saying that all the people who go to private schools are bad. I'm saying that all the private schools are bad. We need to get rid of the fucking schools. That's it. Forget about this whole, we won't make them pay tax. They're still profit-making enterprise. They are a fucking scam. They are milking millions, billions out of the taxpayer every year to overeducate the elite to a level where they don't have to learn the national curriculum that the rest of us plebs have to. They just learn how to pass the exams. That's why they get really good results, because all they learn in their fucking schools is how to pass the exams and get the best grades in the exams. They hog all our university places. They hog all of our top jobs in the City of London, in politics, in acting, in show business, in sport, in everything. They hog the top jobs and they don't even fucking need them. And they have made it so that now we as the plebeian fucking class in the UK, you know, the 93% who aren't privately educated, our options are being narrowed every fucking day when it comes to getting a top job. Because not only are they absolutely dominated by the neo-aristocracy, as I call them, the people who went to private school, but also they have opened the door for anyone in the world to come here and do one of our top jobs. But they can't do our shit jobs. We have to do our own shit jobs. Yeah, that's right, everyone. That's what Brexit is all about. It's making you and me do the shit jobs and making sure that they don't have any competition because we're too busy scrubbing the fucking toilets so that they don't get any competition for their top jobs that they are not fucking qualified for. And that's something else that I haven't mentioned. The mediocrity of it all. There are people at the top who are mediocre as fuck. And there is no way on this fucking planet that they would have got this far had they not had a bit of wodge behind them. That is the only fucking reason they have managed to rise to the top. Shit floats, etc. If you went to a state school, you have to be damn lucky or you have to be damn talented. If you went to a private school, you don't have to be fucking either. And our country is fucking falling apart as a direct result of this system. This is the cancer at the heart of our institutions, in the heart of our nation. And also privatisation. So a conversation I was having last week was about how I read an article about like in the Atlantic, which is called "How This Is How Britain Ends." And it was interesting because it was talking about he went up to Scotland. He had a bit of a tour around the UK or Britain, I should say, and he went up to Scotland and he commented on how everything was like another country. And I felt this when I was there last summer. It does feel like you're entering another country now. And it's not just because Scotland has devolution. It's not just because they have their own parliament. It's not just because they have their own rules. With COVID, we didn't have to wear a mask in England, but we had to wear a mask as soon as we were in Scotland. It's also heralded by Thatcher and a fucking privatisation. You know, it's not all everyone. It's Scottish Rail now. It's not British Rail. There's nothing in Scotland to make people feel British. The only people who are hanging on to the whole idea of unionism and Britishness are the fucking lunatics in Glasgow who support fucking Rangers. Most people don't give a fuck. They don't see anything that makes them feel British. They look at Boris Johnson down in London, who has nothing to say to them. There's nothing to say to these people. The companies that they buy their stuff from, they're Scottish. You know, Scottish power. Supply their fucking power. There's the way that the government has privatised everything has just made this atomization of the individual, also the atomization of our nation in terms of breaking up into its constituent parts. The balkanization, I should say, of the nation is a more accurate term. Balkanization. It's really weird that because balkanization, I think the term has been around for a very, very long time to mean the breakup of a country into smaller constituent parts. And then the Balkans in the 1990s Yugoslavia split into 7 parts. So the Balkans balkanized. That actually happened. Number 3, why do MPs allow these crimes to continue? Says number 3. That's a £2 super chat. Thank you very much for that £2 super chat there, Richard. Maybe they don't give a fuck. Maybe they earn £82,000 a year. 82,000, and they're getting another $2,000 fucking pay rise, by the way. Don't forget that, boys and girls. On top of the $500,000 they earn every year from consultancy that they do. Lobbying. Dennis Potter called his cancer Rupert after Rupert Murdoch. Yes, it's very true. Thank you for that, Charlie. And thank you for the £2 super chat. Really love that. If anyone else wants to throw a super chat in or wants to help me out on Patreon or become a YouTube member, please do, because I really need to, need a bit of support at the moment. If nothing else, to pay the fucking electricity bill. Graham, when I was living in Stoke-on-Trent, begged for money in the square for saving the NHS. I'm talking 2018. Me and my Spanish friends were freaking out by that. How was that possible? A nurse begging for money, sorry. Yeah, because nurses aren't paid enough. That's why so many people use food banks in this country. And the Tories over Christmas were taking pictures of themselves at fucking food banks. Food banks. Their selfishness, their greed, and their sociopathy. Is that a thing? I don't know. I'm going to make up a new word maybe. The fact that they don't care about anyone else. The lack of empathy, I'll put it that way. There's absolute lack of empathy has put people in that position, and they're taking pictures. These food banks only fucking exist because of the fucking Tories. They're taking photos of one's giving some food to the food bank that we created. You know, it's like an arsonist that pulls in the fucking firefighters. Well done, fire brigade. Evening, catching up at 1.75. Oh God, I hope I don't go really high pitched. Charities only exist because of failures of governments. That's very true. People will not forget being denied the opportunity to comfort and say goodbye to their loved ones. It's the kind of thing that ultimately lost on Johnson and will in time be his death knell. Yeah, and listen, there were people saying that we shouldn't be pushing for getting rid of Boris Johnson because he's a political he's a electoral liability, so we should leave him in place until the next election. Shut the fuck up, you fucking dickheads, all right? Boris Johnson has a gift. None of those other cunts that surround him, like Liz Truss or Rishi Sunak or fucking, God forbid, Priti Patel, none of them have the gift that he has, okay? He has got a gift. I will give him this, okay? He gets people who are, you know, not upper class, not part of the neo-aristocracy, to believe that he's one of them. And he does it the same way that the former leader of the Labour Party did, by, even though he's a millionaire, dressing up like a scruffy bastard. Not combing his hair. Oh, he looks like a fucking bin man. Oh, yeah, he's just like me. Bin man who lives in a fucking castle, but, you know, looks like me. Sorry, I'm not sorry. But, like, that is true. Boris Johnson appeals to a certain segment of the middle class and the working class. And we've got to understand that. We've got to see that happening, right? Trump does the same thing in the States, right? No cunt's going to represent... No one is going to replicate what Trump can do. No one. So get rid of them. Absolutely get rid of them. Make sure that they are fucking laid down in a political grave at ASAP and put Michael Gove in charge. I don't give a fuck. Just somebody else with zero charisma. Michael Gove would become the hate figure of the... I mean, we already hate him on the left, but, like, everyone would hate him within a week of him becoming Prime Minister. Liz Truss, everyone would be like, oh my God, she's just fucking awful. She's awful. She's like a supply teacher that you got in who had done no prep for the lessons and just sat there talking about themselves for half an hour because they didn't have anything to teach. And you're like... Okay, yeah, I'm sure running around on the playground for half an hour would have been better than this. Would have learnt more things. Anyway, but the point is, no one else in the Tory front bench at the moment, the fucking screaming monkey clown car on fire going off a cliff that is our cabinet, is our government, is our fucking House of Parliament, is our fucking country at the moment. But there's no one who can replicate Boris Johnson's appeal to a certain segment of society. So good. Get rid of the cunt. Get rid of him. Get the fuck rid of him, because he is a fucking cancer. Oh God, I can't wait, because like Rupert Murdoch, he's not going to be around much longer, is he? He can't be. He can't be. Biggest laugh I can remember having in the last 20 years. I've had a few, but like one of them was when Rupert Murdoch bought MySpace just as Facebook came out. Fucking loved that. That cunt lost millions on that. I wish more things like that would happen. But the brilliant idea that actually we were talking about blocking the print, where they print the Scum newspaper, to stop it being distributed, and the Mail and the Express and the Tory Graph and the Times, fuck them all. And the fucking Guardian, I mean, Jesus Christ, that schizophrenic fucking paper that is. Every time they do, like, a piece going, yeah, Labour are all right, they've got to have some dickhead going, Labour are the worst thing, the rest of the Tories are just... And you're like, oh, shut the fuck up. Can we just get rid of the Tories? And then you can begin your fucking, like, you know, internecine fucking strife. I don't give a fuck. You know, like, just can we just concentrate on getting the fucking Tories out? 1 million people signed a fucking... petition to stop Tony Blair getting a fucking gong. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Hashtag priorities. Please, come on. Focus on the prize here. Eyes on the prize. Get the Tories out. That's the important fucking thing right now. And anything that can help us do that and achieve that, welcome it. Welcome it with open arms, no matter where it fucking comes from. If Nigel Farage says he's getting back into politics, don't complain about it. Go, oh, that's nice. Let him vote. Let him split the right-wing vote. Let the cunt do it. Give a fuck. Give a fuck. It all helps us. Divide and conquer. That's what we need to do to them, Chubai. Priti Patel has declared herself a fan of Margaret Thatcher. Oh, Jesus Christ. I was going to skip through a load of messages, so if you do want me to read your message, you probably want to give a super chat if you can. Just a couple of quid, and I'll definitely read your message then. But otherwise, I might have to miss it because I've only got a few minutes left. And, oh my God, there's so many messages I haven't read. Denise Jones, reposting my previous comment. Can anyone tell me how a PM can get away with having a party of 100 people last May, 3 weeks after we said goodbye to my mum who died of COVID? He can get away with it because we have a media filled with, and I learnt this word today and I fucking love it, prostitutes. Yeah. That's someone who works at the press who sells their moral integrity for money. A prostitute. So we've got all these Tory prostitutes that are working for the Tory party and doing puff pieces about Rishi Sunak and about Liz Truss and about Boris Johnson. Look how sad he is. Look how sad he is. Do you remember when the number of dead a year ago, it passed 100,000 and the front cover of the newspapers were like, oh, Boris sad. Look at sad Boris. Look at sad fucking Boris. Look at sad Boris. Kick him in the fucking teeth. Right. Okay. So I'm going to... I don't like the whole honour system, but the idea that's the biggest injustice right now. We got Mark Wotton here saying the whole Blair Knightley debate was total distraction. I just couldn't be arsed with it. I don't think I wrote anything about it. I normally jump in and things. It was funny today. I retweeted a thing about Djokovic and Matthew Pinsent, the 4 times gold rowing champion at the Olympics, got onto this big thread arguing with someone who presumably was following me. I don't know, but I was linked into all of the threads as it went down. We had this big argument. He was having like Twitter flame war, and I was like, "Wow, I'm linked into this." And he's a famous person. He's got a blue tick and everything. Right. So before I head off into the sunset, a couple of things. First of all, Glasgow. Is Glasgow out there? Or anyone who can give us a link to the Discord server, which I've renamed. Now it's not Rejoin EU anymore, although obviously that's part of it. But it's now the Graham Hughes community server. Thanks, Max. Stole that from you. But if you wanna check that out, you are very, very welcome to do so. But before I go, I'm going to give you a taste of tomorrow's papers. So do you want to see tomorrow's papers? Yes, Graham, we'd love to see tomorrow's papers. Okay, then. You asked for it. Here it is. Just seeing how this looks. Oh, there's a fucking advert down here. How do I get rid of this advert? Go away, advert. Don't want an advert. Okay, good. Right. Oh, there you go. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm afraid the first 2 that are going to come up are going to be the Star and the Mail, but I will bring them up anyway. Here you go. Bring them up. So, the Daily Star, obviously not wanting to talk about the parties for some fucking reason. Boffins say... Oh, Boffins, I hate this. You know, whenever people want to... These fucking newspapers, whenever they want to talk about scientists, they always use the word boffins, don't they? Say, common cold helps beat COVID. Bless you. Okay, fair enough. Boris rocked by new party revelations. Email proves key aide invited 100 Downing Street Staff to party with PM while public could only meet one person outdoors. That is in the Mail, so hopefully, we get some Daily Mail readers realizing fucking what's actually happening. Selling some woo here with fruit and veg can be nature's secret sleep remedy. Oh, for fuck's sake! So basically, like what every doctor's said since forever, you need to eat more fruit and veg because it makes you healthier. When brain fog isn't the menopause, it's actually middle-aged ADHD. Okay. All the benefits of exercise. ... In a magic pill here in the. So on this side, it's quite good. It says eat fruit and veg, and then on this side it says take a pill. It'll cure you of everything. Anyway, Mirror leading with number 10 party email bombshell. Invite to do what you like. 100 staff told to bring their own drinks during first lockdown, and PM attended. That's it. Oh, this could be good from the Express. I thought when I just saw that coming up there, I thought, oh, that's probably going to say enough, Boris, get the fuck out of office, but it doesn't actually say that. Enough, Boris. You must end Partygate farce now. Boris Johnson under pressure after a leaked email revealed number 10 staff were invited to a boozy garden lockdown party. More than 100 workers asked to the Downing Street party bash, when meetings of more than 2 people were banned. An email from Martin Reynolds left has revealed he asked guests to bring drinks and make the most of the lovely weather. So a leaked email reveals how senior aide invited 100 Downing Street staff. I've heard of 10 Downing Street, not 100 Downing Street. There you go. Staff to party to make the most of the lovely weather during the UK lockdown. And they've got advantage Djokovic for now, which is brave because the Australian government might make a decision tomorrow, their time, which is now our time, to say he has to fucking get out. There's Djokovic being a twat. Let's have a look. So the Times has this tiny little headline here about the party. They don't seem to be too asked about it. This is a Murdoch rag, so, whatever. Pressure mounts for 5 days of isolation. So health chief admits COVID claims are wrong. So obviously this is taking the whole tack of the boffins don't know what they're talking about, which you expect from a Murdoch rag. The Guardian, Fury, as email reveals number 10 to bring your own booze lockdown party. Boris Johnson has shown he has no regard for the rules. What the fuck? Thanks, Angela Rayner, to read this. Boris Johnson has shown he's got... Really, Angela? I wouldn't have known that had you not pointed that out. Yeah, obviously she's just calling a spade there. And there's Djokovic fucking showing off with someone of his fucking COVID mates. Should be wearing masks. Djokovic on the front cover of The Independent and on The Telegraph. I mean, this is interesting. Like, that's the main picture there. I feel like that should be a picture of Boris Johnson looking like a twat. PM amongst 40 guests at number 10 lockdown party. Leaked email Downing Street staff to bring their own booze. Cabinet anger over misleading isolation guidance. This is from the Tory graph, which is obviously a Johnson prostitute party. So they've got Djokovic here, but then we go down, buy stocks or do star jumps, energy firms tell customers. If you read that, sorry, you can't see that properly. And this tiny little thing here that says Johnson received invite to lockdown party. Obviously, they don't want to make too much of it, I guess. And Pope, what the fuck is this? The Pope has decried the rise of cancel culture. The Pope. The Pope. The Pope. The leader of the Catholic Church. You know, the same church that cancelled the Norse religion. You know, the same church that cancelled hundreds, thousands of women saying they were witches. You know, the Catholic Church that cancelled the childhood of untold hundreds of thousands of children by raping them. Yeah, that one. Cancel culture, eh? People aren't saying some racist dickhead comedian. Oh my god, it's the end of civilization. Meanwhile, let's keep fucking Life of Brian banned because it's rude and naughty. Let's ban Visions of Ecstasy, which is one of the only films that's still banned in this country because of blasphemy. I shit you not. The last case of blasphemy was brought against Graham Chapman of Monty Python, not for Life of Brian, but for a poem that was published in the Gay Times about a Roman centurion looking up at Jesus on the cross and going, "Oh, I fancy a bit of that." And it was brought about by Mary fucking Whitehouse, good old Christian crusader there. Oh yeah, the Crusades. I forgot about the Crusades. That's when they went about cancelling Jerusalem and the people who live there. Hundreds of thousands of Muslims going about their daily, lives, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, comes a bunch of Europeans going, "We're taking this back for Jesus." And then, should we mention all the Jews that they cancelled in the Second World War by, not standing up against the Nazis? The Nazis, who famously were a Christian organisation, they were a Catholic organisation, they had on their belt buckles, "God with us, God mit us, God mit aus." Yeah, the Catholic Church that allowed Nazis to get away at the end of the Second World War. Help them go to, those Catholic countries and Argentina, Brazil. Yeah, great. Thanks for that. Cancel culture. Oh, fuck off, Pope. I thought this new one would be better, this Francis creep, but he's obviously a twat like the rest of them. I love the idea that they're going to be, standing in front of God one day, explaining how they weren't a rich person. Right, the I's got the right idea. The right idea. See what I did there? Bring your... Oh, shit. I've got an advert. Fuck off, advert. Close. There you go. Bring your own booze. This is from the I newspaper. Leaked email shows 100 people were invited to Downing Street party during lockdown. And now for some reason I'm getting this shit. I want to go back. Alt plus left arrow. Okay. Anyway, so where were we? We're in the Financial Times, which normally don't really talk about stuff like parties and things. But Moscow threatens to walk out as Ukraine talks remain deadlocked. This is Moscow demanding that NATO pull out of Eastern Europe completely, because that we should just do what the Russians tell us to do, even though it's a fucking joke. Say Nazi state? It's a bit of a Nazi state, isn't it? Sorry, I'm sorry for throwing you around here. And there we go, the Metro, which is our last newspaper of the night. Novax back on court and Downing It Street. Very good, like what they've done there. And there's Boris Virus Johnson there. Spaffer Johnson, spaffing some more taxpayers' money up the wall, like a cunt. Basically having lockdown drinks when we weren't allowed to, because it is all the rules for us and no fucking rules for them, because they are the world's gang of biggest cunts. Nico, oh, thank you. 50 euros. Pay the bills, Graham. Thank you, Nico. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Oh, my God. Thank you. I really, really, really appreciate it. More than you will know. Thank you. Shit. Thank you. Maybe next week I won't have to wear a coat. I'll be able to turn the radiator on. Thank you so much, Nico. I really, really, really appreciate it. I've actually got my woolly hat in my pocket and my gloves just in case it got too cold and I had to put them on. I've been all right so far. But thank you, Nico. I really, really appreciate it, man. Thank you. You're an absolute bloody godsend legend, and you massively helped us out on the island as well. Really, really appreciate it. I hope one day you get to visit the island and see your name engraved on the panels in the house and also on the boat dock walkway. Okay, every year the Daily Mail says we're going to die because the sun is going to explode. The Sun newspaper. That would be great if the sun exploded, like at the end of the Cracker, the Albie episodes. What were they called? The Mad Woman in the Attic, I think. Were they? And he was a survivor of Hillsborough. He was going after police officers, and he was trying to kill like 96 police officers to make up for what happened to Hillsborough. And Robbie Coltrane brought him down, and then he managed to get a package off to a journalist in a tabloid newspaper, which wasn't the Sun, because this is a fiction. This is a fictional TV show that was on ITV, back when ITV accidentally made a good TV show. It does it once a decade or so. But yeah, and the package exploded. And that was the end of the episode. I think Bobby Coltrane just sort of like shrugged and just kept walking. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Do you remember Cracker, 1990s? Great TV show. Yeah. So it was Robert Carlyle? Yeah, playing Albie. Anyway, Granada, says Lee Corn. Lee Corn, remember it. LIVERP. Double O Liverpool FC. Fourth Crusade cancelled Constantinople 2 because greed and lust is indiscriminate. I think I feel the urge to get on Twitter after this and basically say go on Twitter and just list things that the Catholic Church have cancelled over the years. The pill, the actual pill, which not only prevents abortions, it prevents, which apparently the Catholic Church is against, so surely that would be a good thing if more women took the pill. But they were also against the pill because they said it was unnatural, because a lot of the things that the Catholic Church believe in are incredibly natural, like a man who survived his own fucking death, a virgin birth, and a chap who lives in the sky and watches us, and he's a ghost and he watches us, because that's completely natural. That's normal. Yeah, that's normal. They also don't like gay people because that's unnatural as well, apparently. But the pill is a particular bugbear of mine because women suffer more than they have to, because every month a bunch of the pills that they take are placebos, or they don't take the pill for a week so they can have a period, which is a really fucking bad idea because you're bleeding. It's not that great. What you want to do is just keep taking the fucking pill all the time. Just not have a period. Look, I'm not a doctor, so you don't have to do what I say. But every time you have your period, obviously you have a lot of cell division. Your boobs get bigger, and then they get smaller again. So when they get bigger, there's cell division going on. Every time your cells divide for some reason or whatever, there's going to be a chance that one of them's going to fuck up, and it's going to become cancerous. So they find that in societies where women have lots of babies and therefore don't have as many periods in their, the time of having periods between, the start of their periods and the menopause, they find that the incidence of breast cancer, for instance, are a lot lower. Cervical cancer, lower. Because not having so many periods. But the Catholic Church says, no, these things are unnatural, so you have to have this week where you bleed, because otherwise it's unnatural. Fuck that shit. Get a fucking Nexplanon in your arm. That's what I would do if I was a woman. But I'm not a woman, so I can't tell women what to do, obviously. And I'm probably going to really upset someone watching this, I'm sure. Sorry. But yeah, if there was a male pill, I would take it. Unfortunately, there isn't one. It's surgery. It's surgery or, condoms. Which is fair enough. I don't mind the idea of it being on the man to make sure that there's no pregnancy. But at the same time, it's kind of it's a bit of a bugbear of mine. It's like they made this amazing invention to stop women getting pregnant that they could take, and the Catholic Church lost their shit about it, and so they changed the way that it worked to placate the fucking Catholic cunting church, because there's a billion Catholics out there, obviously. And they still said no. They still said fucking no. No, we're stuck with it. Anyway, Protestants, says Lee Corn, indeed. Pretty much anyone who didn't believe their version of the magical spaceman. Yeah. Oh, Granada. Sorry, Lee, when you said Granada, do you know what? I was thinking of the TV channel. Well, the Granada region of ITV. Because we were talking about Cracker, and it was obviously set in Manchester. And yeah. Sorry, you actually mean the city of Granada in Spain, home of the Alhambra Palace, this incredible palace. Bobadil was the last sultan or whatever of the great Alhambra Palace. There's a great book by Salman Rushdie which refers to this. It's called The Moor's Last Sigh, because that's the name of a hill nearby, and that's apparently where Bobadil the Last in 1492, when the Moors were driven out of Andalusia, he climbed to the top of this hill with his mom, I think, and looked out and over the palace and shed a tear. And that hill is now called the Los Últimos Suspiros del Moro, I think, which means the Moor's Last Sigh. Anyway, cancel culture is when powerless people criticise offensive, powerful types. Eddie Burns, mate, you just hit the nail on the head every time. I love it. Look at that. Jeremy Goss says having kids helps with ovarian cancer avoidance too. Well, I mean, it's obvious if you're going to have a lot of cell division going on in your body at any one time, then there's a chance that there'll be a mutation, and that, you know, cancer is fucking evil. I mean, I know so many people who have had their lives touched by cancer in some way, and a lot of people I know aren't with us anymore because of cancer. And it's horrible. I mean, the whole concept of it is just insidious. It's your own body makes a mistake. And if it's a foreign invader, your body would do everything to get rid of this foreign invader. But because your body thinks that whatever this is yours, it doesn't attack it. Your antibodies don't go nuts on it and try and take it out as they would if it was a virus. It was something coming in from the exterior. And it was described by Christopher Hitchens when he was dying of cancer. He said it's like pregnancy, except it's death. Instead of life growing inside you, it's death growing inside you. It's just a really fucking horrible thing that exists, and the quicker we suss out how to deal with it, and all the different forms of cancer, there's hundreds of different forms of cancer. Every single organ of your body can get cancer, and there's different types of cancer for each organ of your body. I've got to admit, I don't understand, you know, a lot of it, but anything that can be done to reduce the chances of people dying of this horrible fucking disease, you know, I'm all for. I'm absolutely all for. But you know, I don't think they're going to put me in charge anytime soon. Okay, so if you would like to continue the conversation over on our beautiful Discord server, I would love it if you come and join us. I can't find bloody Discord on me list of things here. Oh no, my computer's having one. It's having one. It's having one. Right, Discord. Right, okay. I'm still on. I've still got this €50 to talk through. Do I have to talk to the end of the €50 or can I leave beforehand? Because it's 20 past 11. Right, so yay, the great. So if you get pulled over to the Graham Hughes community server, don't worry, because that's what it's just called now. But it's the same as the Rejoin EU server. So if you scroll down on the left, there's loads of things there now. Bloody hell, we might have to trim some of them, I think. But you will find the video chat down there, and you will be able to. Oh. It says, "Oh no, your server is going to lose a level. Refer to your server settings for status details." Ooh, shitty shit. Oh, we're going to lose a level. I don't want to check status. This server will lose level 1 perks in 2 days and 18 hours. You need 2 boosts to maintain it. Okay. Members of your server can help unlock levels by bestowing boosts for every level achieved. Your server will help unlock perks for everyone. Okay, so everyone, quick, over to the Discord server and boost it. I don't know how you boost it, but you need to boost it. Please boost it. That'll be nice. Right, I'm going to invite you over now. That was actually covering the thing that allowed me to invite you. This link will last for 6 hours. Not a moment more. Oh, Lee Corn's already put it up. Thanks, Lee. There you go. There's another one. You can click on either of those Discord links and please come over and give us a boost and join in the conversation. And I will be back. What's happened? I will be back, like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator. I'll be back on Wednesday for Prime Minister's Questions at 12 o'clock, unless they move it to 3 o'clock again, in which case I'll be on at 3 o'clock. But until then, thank you very much for watching. Thanks for putting up with me little rants. Thank you very much to Nico and to everybody else who's given some super chats. Thanks to all of my wonderful, lovely patrons and YouTube members. And I can't find... Oh, this is a scroll up. That's what happened. Right, Patreon list. Okay, so I'm more of a Thames TV man myself, says RC. Perhaps you shouldn't watch something like this. Take a break for a while. Yeah, I'm going from throwing fire to spitting thunder. I don't know, Duke. If my rants you find them cathartic, please continue to watch them. But if it's a case of just getting you even more riled up. Yeah, probably might be an idea if you take a break from them. But please join us on Thursdays to talk about the history of the world in every country in alphabetical order for Hughes of the World. And then on Sundays, we're going to be doing Film Club. And I think the next film we're going to be watching is going to be Charade or Charade. I don't know how you say that. You can tell me in the comments. I know it's spelled. Which stars Cary Grant, an older Cary Grant, and Audrey Hepburn. Which apparently fell out of copyright because they didn't put enough copyright logos on it. So I'm going to be talking about Audrey Hepburn and her career and her life and the fact that she's the most beautiful woman who ever lived, as far as I'm concerned. And you can join me for that at 8 o'clock on Sundays. So hopefully I'll see you over on the Discord server. If not, see you on Wednesday, I hope, if you're not doing a full-time job and you can't tune in. But if you can, that would be great. I'm working on a bunch of stuff at the moment, so hopefully there's going to be a load more content that I'm creating going out there, but hopefully I'll actually get paid for doing it, properly like a normal person, rather than can you please give us some money so I can turn the heater on? But thank you anyway. I really appreciate it. All right, so until next time, I'll say thanks for watching and hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.